I got an alt-right haircut in my mind. I got an alt-right haircut in my mind. The legend, Bass Commodore pointed out to me that my phone's all fucked up. Oh, I need a new phone. That's what he left a comment saying, man, you need a new phone. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, how'd you know that? And I just figured it was the regular ESP situation that I seem to have with him and some of you other guys, because we're on kind of the same wavelength, I guess. It's a 5%er thing. So I was like, yeah, yeah, he's right. I do need a new one. Because I was talking to you about getting one a while ago, and I just kind of forgot about it, just for other reasons. But then I thought, oh, is there something wrong with the picture maybe? Is that what he's referring to? And I watched it, and yeah, it's all fucked up. Like the camera shakes, like there's these little, well, you're probably watching it right now. It's vibrating weird. So, yeah, that's the end of this one. I get paid on Friday? So after the weekend, I should have a new one. Or it will have a new, oh, it will happen. So, I apologize for the, it's not my regular stellar presentation. That's another thing I was looking at too, as far as new phones. And he was like, yeah, you should get one that's good for video, you know? And I'm like, yeah, something really weird. I just walked by now. I'll put a pin in it, and I'll get back to it. And it says, it says, I'm like, yeah, I should get one for video. So I started looking, and I don't really know shit about phones. But I'm looking at ones with good cameras in them. Some of these things are like expensive, like $1,500 for a phone. I didn't realize it'd gotten that crazy. Because usually Nia takes care of all the phone stuff. And whenever I need a new one, like mine's getting fucked up, I just be like, just grab me something half decent. It doesn't have to be super crazy, just, you know, a good one. So, yeah, I've been using this one for a couple of years now, but lately I've been noticing it's doing some other fucked up shit. Like it's hard to charge sometimes, or it doesn't charge at all. So I was due for a new one. Who gives a fuck about all this? I think it's the bottom line here. The thing I saw back there was a homeless dude with pushing a wheelchair. I did a video this afternoon. It may have already been posted, but about how I've been noticing homeless dudes pushing wheelchairs around, empty wheelchairs. I started noticing this, like, I don't know, more than a month ago. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. In the morning, when I'd walk Nia to work, I'd notice they were coming up that street near where her work is with these empty wheelchairs. And I'm like, fuck is that? It's kind of weird. Now, the guys that are pushing wheelchairs are sort of more normal dudes. Like they're guys that are out here, and they're staying out here, but they're not psychos. They're not causing trouble. They aren't like they're not street mutants. You know, they just kind of do their own thing. And as I started recording this back there, I saw another one. I don't know what that is. I of course always think it's something nefarious. And speaking of fucking nefarious, they tried to murder a hungry Hawaiian. He's a guy on Instagram, and he has some other social media things, I'm pretty sure, but I know him from Instagram, where he just he posts stuff about the nonsense in the area, just crime stuff. Not very different from what I do. The difference here is that in his videos, they're like the TikTok style ones, or where they're the videos already on the subject is right there because it's shorter and it gets right to it. And he, I guess they just the beast, his people got tired of him, and decided we have to get rid of this guy. The beast doesn't like being spied on, reported on, and definitely not mocked. And a lot of times he posts stuff that is just funny. It's nonsense, crime stuff, but stuff you can laugh at. So someone got fucking sick of him and firebombed his fucking house or his condo. I always joke about people trying to burn my condo down for being racist or whatever, or whatever they would say I am. And I'm like, well, they can't get me there because what are they gonna do? Just burn my unit? But no, I guess they can, because that's just what happened to this guy. The thing is, as I was just saying, these videos are, as soon as you see them, it's right to the subject, and they're short and they're quick and they get to it. I kind of I'll talk about the same kind of shit, maybe even crazier, because I do those, because of being the kind of guy I am. I look into this stuff, but I talk about a lot of things like that too. It's just that with me, I never use it to get people to watch. Like if you notice all my thumbnails and video titles often don't have anything to do with what I'm talking about. Like if I talked about the cults here that run the island, I'll talk about these things in videos on and off, usually with other subjects around them. I think that's how I get away with it, because no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about unless they actually watch one of these videos. And sometimes inside, if it's like a hot button satanic issue, like trafficking or the kids stuff or the cult stuff like I was talking about with certain people, it's always surrounded by all kinds of other crap. Like I usually don't get to anything important till a couple minutes in, and I surround it with a lot of just attempts to be funny, silly stuff. Anyone that would be upset about the kind of information I put in here wouldn't really know what's in here unless they put the time in for some reason to watch my stuff. And then they see something stupid in the first few minutes and they're like, all right, this guy's an idiot, and then they just get out of there. But if you hang in there, as some of you know that have watched me for a while, I get to the good shit. I just fucking nestle it in there with all the other schizo stuff. That's how you got to do it. So with him, it's his content's very nakedly out there. It's not couched in anything. It's just like, boom, look at this that's happening. And this is the most fucking corrupt state in the country by far. I used to think Massachusetts was. Massachusetts ain't got shit on this place. And there's a couple reasons for that. The distance too. It's just far from the mainland. And people say, well, there's U.S. military out there. Yeah, but it's the kind of U.S. military that they don't want to be looked at either. Another kind of dangerous thing to talk about is some of the odd technology they have up here that they don't have in the mainland. Some of the things that go on at these military installations and stuff that they want people talking about. They want to keep their business to themselves as much as the crime people do here. Everybody is just kind of doing their own thing and staying in their own lane, but almost everybody has some kind of fucking crime bullshit going on. I've said many times, it's like everybody here, from the corner store to some of these high rises downtown in an office, they all got some kind of racket going, everybody. I've never seen anything like it. If you want if you want to get an idea of how crazy it is, just do a normie Google search and type in Hawaii corruption. And just look at all the pages. It's non-stop. It doesn't stop. And again, yeah, it's the distance because they're far away, and also because of who's, the people in charge, though, as far as the real important stuff, are the same people that are in charge everywhere else, Guy was talking about how my friend tries to red pill his local neighbors by saying, how much money are they giving Ukraine? How much money are they giving, Israel? And then look at how much money they gave the people. Hey, man, how you doing? The people in Lahaina got $700. $700 for having all their shit just wiped out completely. There's something wrong there. And he's like, well, the same people are the ones allocating funds. Our government here has dual citizenship people here, The Amish. Out at Target, into the mall. There's a really cool Japanese robot store over here. I've talked about it before. I don't know if I've ever made it into a video, but it's real expensive stuff, but it's cool. See the window here, what they got. Oh, look at the sword down there. I got a couple things from here, a few Gundam toys, but I ended up giving them away in a recent purge of my stuff. It doesn't matter where I go, guys. Wherever I go, I'm in somebody's way. I occasionally do that, I get frustrated with walking on stuff or just having too much stuff around. So I go through my stuff and look at things that I don't really collect. I just kind of bought on a whim, and it adds up to a lot of stuff, So the last purge I did, the Gundams went. Oh, it's a cool little Santa Claus house here, International Marketplace Santa Claus house. Yeah, it's Christmas. It's so weird. It's hard to keep track of holidays here because everything's, weather-wise, it's always the same. Everything kind of looks the same. Growing up in the Northeast, I'm used to the way seasons roll out. You can tell by the stuff around you, like when it's fall, the leaves start falling, and hence the name. And then, winter, it's colder, snow. Here, it's like I find myself walking around somewhere and be like, did Easter just end? Or is Easter coming up? I'm having that problem right now at Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving just ended, I think. Yes. Yeah, it was last week. December now. So, yeah, Christmas is a little bit easier because they decorate so much stuff. But not that I'm complaining. I like it that way. I spent most of my life in colder areas on the mainland. So, past 10 years here. It's hard to keep track of time as it is, never mind the fucking seasons. I never know what the fuck's going on. Time is weird. I haven't checked it to see if it's still if it's getting faster and faster. I've talked about before how if you take the stopwatch on your phone and you start counting the seconds using the 1/1000 method, or alternately the 1 Mississippi method, what happens is by the time you're counting 7, oh, do I got a quarter? Yes, I do. By the time you're counting 7, the stopwatch will be on 10. Scientists, the science boys, have floated stories about this, about how their reasons or their excuses for why this is happening, because they have to, not because of the stopwatch thing. That's incidental. That's not. I don't know how many people actually know about that. But people could just know things are shortening. Things seem to be getting faster. The days going by quicker. It's just a feeling that you have. It's not something you can really articulate. It's just if you're here in this realm and you're living off the energy of this place, and you are, because you also create it, and then it's like a cycle. It comes out of you, goes into the earth, comes up through the earth through you, and comes back into the world. In that process is where the manipulation comes in. You know, they try to get you to create this kind of world that is better for them by filling your head with a bunch of crap. Indoctrination, programming, Hollywood movies, television shows, to give you a skewed perspective of everything. So when those thoughts are in your head and you project them onto reality, because that's what you do, you're a reality creation machine. That's why you're so valuable to them. And that's why they want to make you feel like you're nothing. You're just you're a flea on a dog's back on a water ball hurtling through space. You're dropping the rain. It's like they have to work that into your head constantly so that you feel that way, so that you don't start getting any ideas. But yeah, you basically create everything around you. So the reason why things are so shit is because they put all the stuff they want into your head, so that as you create reality in real time, just fucking seeps right out of you, you create the world they want that is advantageous to them. That's how, that works. I had a simplified, I simplified some kind of theory the other night. I want to get back to talking about that kind of stuff. I feel like lately it's just social issues and it just gets boring, But, yeah, I had a really good, fuck, I'm looking for cigarettes. I got my demon bag with me, as I may have mentioned. But it's got way too many friggin' pockets in it, so I can never find anything I'm looking for. And of course, I'm looking for cigarettes, because I need people to stay away from me. I got a couple packs in here. I guess I just have to open a new one. Yeah, I was almost tears of raging earlier, trying to find stuff in this fucking bag, because there's three major compartments. I'm not gonna go into the fucking demon bag. Point is, there's too many pockets and there's too much shit, and trying to find a pack of cigarettes is like almost made me fucking break down in tears out of rage crying. Just zip this up, go over here. But yeah, everything that is bad, that you're seeing in the world you don't like, it's inadvertently your fault. And people don't even know this is happening to them. It's just part of the strange construction of this place, the strange system they have here, and it is a system. You're in a situation, and that's why it's so like, it'll make you go crazy if you dwell on it too much. You're in a situation where it's like a TV show, right? Where you are the main character, you are the lead. And instantly, people get mad when you say stuff like that. Like, you're not special, you think everything revolves around you. It's like that fucking programming worked on you good, And what it is, so just, I'm going to table that whole argument just for the sake of brevity here. What it is you are experiencing what the closest thing I can think of to what the situation is a television show, where it's constantly being show ran by people that you can't see, like showrunners in like a Hollywood TV show. What they do is they produce the show, so you got all that happening around you at once, and a lot of the things that you run into or that you're frustrated by, have a problem with, are cued to come up like a Truman Show type of thing. Like, all right, he's gonna come around the corner here, and then, okay, this car's got to pull out. It's fucked, but that's pretty much what's going on. And then people are like, well, I shouldn't do these straw man arguments. When I try to explain my ideas, sometimes I make up straw men so I could give myself someone to argue with so I can explain it better. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. The point is, you're experiencing a fluid kind of television show with a lot of producers, and you're all they're thinking about. And that's it. One thing I will say though, it's like people always like, oh, how are you so, you think you're special and you warrant all this kind of attention, like all these people are focused on you. It's like, yeah, they are. We don't really understand how a large consciousness works, which is what we are, because we're in these little slivered bodies, points of attention expressing themselves as individuals. So we can't comprehend what that consciousness is like. It's just like the God thing. Like I always say, God's with you all the time. He's with you every day. He's there for you. Like, oh, can he be there for you and all these other people? Because I don't know, his consciousness is something I can't understand. But it is such, so that it's as if you had to break it down into what we would understand, you have a copy of God with you. Everyone has their own God copy. It's not a copy. It's just the way the consciousness works. So in that way, that's kind of how the experience you're having is. The problem is, I mean, for them and for the people that end up seeing it, is if you notice, if you start to notice this is the scenario and you start telling people about it, you get put into the psych ward. That's how they gatekeep to keep you in. You start talking about the circumstances as it is, it's like they're all people running this whole thing around us. Like there's a whole system behind it. And what they're doing is they're trying to get you to spill loose. They're trying to get you to exert your energy so that they can then suck that energy up and they use it to feed themselves and create the world you're in. It's a Gnostic idea, but it's actually, the Gnostics kind of streamlined it, or they made it so that you could articulate the idea. But it's actually how it's been from the beginning. And certainly, when I say from the beginning, I don't mean from the beginning of when it was turned into a farm. It's been like that since then. And the idea is to try to, a lot of times, just aggravate, scare, get you to give up as much of that energy that's useful to them to survive and then create more of it. And people do see through it. And they try to figure out who's able to see through it when you're young, very early. I discussed the GATE program. I was in there as a kid. And also how they try to rope you in or net you in with art. Someone who's good at replicating a drawing or something, because someone's good at art. That's why you have those sort of things like, can you draw this turtle in? In magazines. Because they try to get you while you're young to see how good you are at reality creation. If you're really good at it, then they, of course, want you for whatever they want you for. Sometimes they, for whatever reason, they pass on you, and you just have memories of being in a basement with the windows blocked out, drinking Pepto-Bismol and having headphones on, and you don't know why. But I think even if they don't use you for something, they tag you somehow. Like almost like when you get a animal and you send it back into the wild, you put a tag on it. They kind of tag you, and they should follow you around for your whole life. Now, you don't know this, so as it's happening to you, and you start seeing this stuff, as a lot of us do, and you try to explain it to someone, well, you sound like an absolute crazy person. And the way they've made insanity, or the idea of insanity, matches up perfectly with being able to see the lattice work of the reality, words and phrases that are associated with someone who may be experiencing seeing the other stuff that's going on, are then popularized to be markers for a crazy person, like the things they say. Like, I feel like there's people around me, or I feel like there's all that stuff, so that when they start talking about this, you can say, wow, he's crazy. He's saying all the things. And then the gatekeeper will scoop you up. Sometimes you get put into psych wards. Other times they just put you on medication right away. Well, they usually do, if they put you in the ward, they put you on medication right away. But you don't always go into the ward. Depends on your situation. It's a case-by-case basis. But when you break out of this, or start being able to break out of it, they have to corral you back in. There's a whole industry that does this, that corrals people back in. The mental health industry. And it's a for-profit proposition. People make money off it. And it's self-perpetuating. And basically it's keeping the cattle from understanding the predicament. And if you go off script, they give you a script to get you back on script. But it's all right. We're all going to be fine. God's already won. All we have to do is run the clock out. All we have to do is run the clock out. So until next time, I'm going to go upstairs and take a shower and run out some of the clock. Thanks for dropping in. Hopefully see you soon. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school. I like this vertical thing. So, I posted in my community tab this little thing saying I was going to do a live stream tonight. I was thinking it's Halloween. Tomorrow night is Halloween, not tonight. So, yeah, it'll be tomorrow. I'm doing that. What's this over here? Missing pet. Oh, it's a cat. There's a lot of missing cat things around this neighborhood. A lot of cats disappear. Of course, I think, right away. Cats are very popular for if you're doing some kind of ritual that requires blood. Cats are usually the go-to animal because they're usually floating around neighborhoods and they're pretty easy to procure. I've never done anything like that. I mean, I don't do anything that is blood sacrifice, or any kind of sacrifice. Never done anything like that. That's crazy. That's black magic. And I know you'll have find those guys that are like, there is no black magic. It's the enlightened man is beyond good and evil. That just sounds to me like you want to fucking touch kids. And that ain't good. I think that goes without saying. I'm gonna run to the store here. I'll be right back.